Okay, here is an original effect that involves the unlucky number 13 and the lucky number 21. Okay, so as you can see here, I have 12 cards. Now we only need hearts and spades for this effect today. Now since we both saw the cards, why don't we go ahead and give them a mix. In fact, if you were here, I'd have you just randomly cut the cards at any location and complete the cut. That would be just great. And then to mix the cards further, 3, 4, 5, 6, why don't we have you decide how these two halves are stacked? You know, which half is on top? With the right on left? Okay, very good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to deal out the cards into two piles, and we're looking for cards of the same suit that add to either 13 or 21. And this is going to give us insights as to how lucky or unlucky you are as an individual. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just, in fact, you can do all the dealing here. So what we're doing is we're just dealing out left, right, okay? And then we're taking a look at the top cards, and are they of the same suit? And do they add to 13 or 21? Well, they're not even of the same suit. Okay, so that, unfortunately, that's a fail. Let's try that again. Now, note to you as a performer, you can have the spectator do this dealing out into two piles as many times as they like. Oh, those are even different. So there you go. Well, let's deal out into three piles, which, will increase your chances a fair amount. So we're just looking for two cards of the same suit that add to 13 or 21. Okay, well, we got 8 and 7 adding to 15. It's not 13, but, it's better than we were doing before. Okay, so you could deal out into three piles in that way with random stacking from left to right or right to left. Why don't we really increase your chances here? We'll deal out into four piles. Okay, so lots of opportunities here. So two cards of the same suit that add up to 13 or 21. How did we do? Ooh, this is really close. 12, not 13. You see, those add up to 17. That's not 21. So unfortunately, that's a fail as well. Okay, and you can do as many of those as you like as well. And so if you notice, I stacked the top row on top of the bottom, or you could do the reverse and then just randomly stack the two piles. Note to you as the performer. Why don't we go over 6 piles? Okay, so really your chances should be jumping significantly for succeeding here and giving us some insights as to whether you're a lucky or unlucky person. So cards of the same suit that add up to 13 or 21. How did we do? Oh, we got close here. Oh, 8, let's see, queen's a 12. 8 and 12 is 20. One off there. And then we don't have two of the spades or hearts adding up to 13. So unfortunately, even though that was close, that would have to be considered a fail. Would you like the top row on top of the bottom or vice versa? You want top on bottom. Okay, and we're free to stack these from left to right or right to left. Left to right. Okay, that's just fine. Okay. Again, speaking to you as the performer, you could have the spectator do any of those dealing outs, 2, 3, 4, 6, looking for cards of the same suit adding to 13 or 21, and you could do that forever because they will never succeed. Don't tell them that, but they won't. So what we do here to kind of enable a win is we just deal out into two piles one more time, and I need you to use your intuition to select the top card of either pile. Now, it will be a special card that we'll set aside. So which top card would you like? The one on the right. Okay, so we'll put it right there. Try not to go off a camera view there. Okay, very good. And now we're going to perform a powerful shuffle in card magic. It's called the Australian Down Under. So let me show you how that works. You go down, then under, down, under, down, under. Okay, so you just continue this until all of the cards from one hand have been moved to the other hand, but you do want to focus on the last card that remains. This is called the lone survivor. So it essentially survived this elimination process when we set them down. So we're going to put the lone survivor next to your card that you freely chose from the top of the, I think it was right-hand pile. And now from here, what I'm going to do, so just watch this, I'm going to deal down 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So what kind of amazing outcome would come from that? Okay, so I'm hoping to build a cool little pyramid here, if I can. Okay, well, off to the side, oh golly, it's been out of camera view the whole time. Let me bring it in camera view. I've had a written prediction there the whole time. I didn't realize you couldn't see it. Okay, let me take the pins out here. So I have written prediction for what I believe would happen here. So I apologize for that not being in camera view. Okay, the lone survivor for the down under deal will match the suit of the card removed. Okay, so this is going back to the very beginning here. So we had a card removed by you, and then we had a lone survivor. The claim is they will be of the same suit. Well, if you think about the chance of that, it's pretty unlikely, but let's just take a look. So we get an 8 and a king. Those are of the same, 8 of hearts and a king of hearts. They're of the same suit. That's perfect. Okay. Oh, is there another? Okay, what does the rest of it say? All pairs that we've dealt out here will match in suit. Okay, let's check that out. So is that true? Do these all match in? Okay, there we go. That's good. Those are hearts. Oh, got a spade there. That's nice. What about over here? Oh, a spade there. And let's see, heart there. And spades there. We nailed it. That is amazing. Just think about all of the random mixing that was dictated by you throughout all of this, and especially if you realize that we could have continued to do any of that mixing and mix the cards in a completely different way than we have here. That is astonishing. What's that? Oh, you think there's something else? Oh wow, there is. Let's see. All spade pairs will add to 13. All hearts pairs will add to 21. Okay, I just want you to ponder on that for a moment. How would that even be possible? Let's take a look. Spade pairs add to 13. Oh, I got 13 there. And the heart pairs add, oh, that's 21 because 13 plus 8 is 21. See, 12 plus 9 is 21. 6 and 7 for the spades, 13, 5 and 8 for the 13. This is unbelievable. 10 and jack's an 11, so that is a 21, and it perfectly matches this written prediction that was created before all of the mixing was carried out. Okay, and once again, I apologize that this little written prediction had moved out of camera view there. Okay, so how does this work? Maybe I'll slide this back now. Well, you work with these very pairs. So let me just quickly show you how to do this. It will work for you every time. Okay, so there's no sleight of hand. So maybe you randomly stack these and somewhat alternate colors. Not perfectly, but, you know, kind of mix them a bit, right? And it's okay to have a block of 4 there, red. Okay, so this is called an AMP in the language of the absolute mathemagic channel. So an AMP, so we can convert this to what's called a 2-cycle by just, so I want to point out that what I'm doing right here is just setup, and then we're done. Okay, so you have those pairs that I just showed you, and you stack them like we just did, and then you deal out those cards into a left-right pile with random stacking. You are now ready. So the kind of thing I showed you is what you're seeing right here. Okay, it's not going to be identical to what I showed you, I'm sure, But this is where we begin. Okay, so you could have that packet and bring it out and say, boy, we got a good selection of card values and suits. Now we're going to restrict ourselves to just hearts and spades because that's all we'll really need for this. And then you can just say, well, since we both saw the cards, you can perform what's called a Charlier shuffle, because that packet that we just, the ribbon spread cards on the table were cyclic, actually, relative to those pairings that we set up. And the Charlier shuffle is this. I can add a link in the description below if you want to learn that. We gave the spectator an option to freely cut the cards. That won't hurt a cyclic packet. And then to convert it, 4, 5, 6, to a mirrored structure, you just deal out here half the cards, random stacking. Okay. Now, the stay stack principle is enforced, and I'll add a link in the description below, a very important principle to learn in card magic. But what it tells you is you can deal out the cards into as many piles as that number of piles is as a divisor for the packet size. Okay, so 12. What are the divisors of 12? What are the numbers that divide evenly into 12? 2, 3, 4, and 6. So you can deal out the cards into 2 piles, and you will never have a situation where these, now this is close, which is really cool, where these 2 cards will be of the same suit and add up to either 13 or 21. It cannot happen because of the structure of these packets. So the spectator can deal out left, right for all eternity. Check the top cards. They'll never get a pair of cards of the same suit that add up to 13 or 21. Okay, and these are different suits. So, and even on top of that, they add up to 20, right, short. Okay, so you're safe in dealing it out into 3 piles, knowing that the spectator will never succeed. Well, that's actually true for 3 piles, okay? So we'll never get the same suit adding up to 13 or 21. Here we get 15, it's not 13, right? So you can do 3 piles, stack from left to right or right to left. You can deal out into 4 piles if you like. Now, you don't have to deal out into all these different size piles if you want to streamline the performance. You could even just do 2 piles if you wanted, but it might be good to do at least 2 and 4 piles. Okay, so we're looking for pairs of the same suit that add up to 21. This is close, guys. 8 and a 12 is a 20, still not 21. A 6 and an 8 is a 14. That's too big. It's not a 13. Okay, wow. Now here you can stack top row on the bottom or vice versa, and then random stacking on these piles. Okay, and then you could even do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reveal those. You won't get a pair of cards of the same suit adding up to 13 or 21, and then you have them stack the top row on top of the bottom or vice versa, and then stack those 3 piles from left to right or right to left. Okay, and then when you're kind of wanting to finish with the big finale and actually succeed perfectly, you just deal out the cards one final time into a left and right pile. Allow the spectator to freely choose the top card of either one. They truly can. Maybe they'll choose this one this time. Okay. Now, the key is here, the important thing here is I drew that card from this one. Okay. You put the larger of the, because this has 6 cards still in it, that has 5. The larger of the 2 piles on top. That's important. If you remember that step, everything's going to work out for you. And so now you just do the down under that we talked about, and it ends up that the quote lone survivor for the card that the spectator just randomly chose from the top of one of those piles will be the final card here. Okay, so these cards are guaranteed to be of the same suit, but beyond that they're going to add up to either 13 or 21. Okay, and then to finish, so of course we didn't reveal that, right at the beginning. I had, at first we've revealed everything kind of together with my written prediction. Okay, and then if you remember how the dealing went, I did 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and you are finished. Okay, and now the written prediction is going to be perfectly satisfied. All of these will be of the same suit, which is kind of the first punch if you think about it, because most spectators won't be kind of focused on what the cards add up to until you really focus their attention on that, which we will in a moment. You just point out, that is amazing. We matched up all of the suits, right? So we matched up the suit of this one, first punch. Second punch is that all of these match in suit. And then the final revelation is that the spade pairs add up to 13 and the hearts pairs add up to 21. Absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, so now you know how to do it. And if you want to learn more about this kind of thing, take a look at the videos on my channel. And in particular, you may want to look at the Max Maven inspired routines that I have in a playlist. And I can add that playlist in the description below. So if you want to watch things that are kind of similar to this, some of them are easier than this one, but some are about the same difficulty. But they all have different narratives to them, but all have amazing, surprising endings. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.